Welcome to the Select Security Stadium, home of the Widnes Vikings, and it's been through so much recently. We're here today in the Our League app, and we're going to get to know the Widnes Vikings. It's the boys are behind us, and this is the reality of the situation. The club's been saved by the Vicky Consortium, but there's so much going on, and we wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth today from this famous old club, formed in 1873, one of the original 1895 clubs, 1989 World Club Challenge winners, 7 Challenge Cups, 3 championships, like Sir Martin Afire, Kurt Sorensen, Big Jim Mills, Andy Gregory, Keith Elwell and Jonathan Davis. Some stellar names in rugby league history. Today we're going to meet the people behind the saviour and behind the club. First up, we're meeting a man who's in communication all the time with the media. Sam, tell us a bit about your role here and how difficult it's been over the past couple of months.
Well, I head up all the media and communications here at the club. More gonna lie, last couple of weeks has probably been the hardest I've ever done working in. I've been here 3 years, and that's probably been the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. But at the same time, it's probably been the most rewarding as well.
Why rewarding?
Just because we were literally on the brink, and obviously there's a group of unpaid people in there. It's not just myself that haven't been paid, that we just rallied around on that Saturday after we went into administration and said, look, let's just have a go, let's see what we can do, see if we can save this club. And then obviously with everyone's efforts, that's what happened a week later.
And you've got a great set of lads, as you can see behind us, and no one were paid that month. The month has gone, no one's going to get paid in that month. Everyone's took it on the chin and they're moving forward together.
Exactly. In a weird way, it's probably, the administration's probably been a good thing, just because it's galvanised everyone, it's given everyone a bit of energy, and it's like we're starting on like a fresh sheet of paper. We can do whatever we want, and at the minute things are looking all right. We're obviously with this new board as well, so hopefully things can keep moving forward.
Every story needs a hero, or at least somebody who everybody can look up to. And Phil Finney, you've been here for a long time. How many years have you been here now?
Oh, I've been here 10 years. 10 years in February, just gone, so not a great way to celebrate my 10th year at the club recently.
I think you could celebrate your job more than most people in rugby league for what you've achieved with the academy. And it's 12 at 17 last weekend were academy prospects. You've overseen that for the last few years.
Yeah.
And massive, kudos to you, mate, because you developed some amazing young players and amazing young men, because it's very difficult to transition from that age into the first team. But you seem to have that right over most clubs in rugby league. And why do you think that is?
I think it's a team effort, first of all. Do you know what I mean? I think we started here years ago, and one of the fortunate things, which doesn't feel that fortunate at the time, is that we haven't got a massive amount of resource. So naturally, one of the things that we had to do was develop our own players, and that came from the very top of the club at the time. And it was Terry O'Connor, who was working at the time, that persuaded me to come back into the sport. And so there was a pathway for young players, which obviously, some clubs it's difficult, to get in the first team when if you're at Leeds and Kev Sinfield's there. Good luck as a young loose forward going there, or Sean O'Loughlin at Wigan. So first of all, there was a pathway for the players, and it was supported from the very top. One of the things that we, or two of the things we concentrate on, is trying to get the lads to become really, really loyal to the club and get them to work as hard as they can. And it's not that scientific.
When life deals you a blow, there's two ways to take it. You either wilt and shy away, or you meet your face on and fight. This club, this town, has met this face on and fought it. But how did you find out about the news? Take me back to the day when it all hit the fan.
Well, to be fair, it was about 3 weeks. No, do you know what? I don't even know how long ago it was now. It was probably about a month ago, and I just got a phone call saying, will you go to Media City and meet with the consortium that are going to look to buy the club? And so I was involved in those discussions, and I'll be quite frank, I hadn't seen a cash flow ever up until that point. It was the first time I'd seen some of that type of information, and things were going well. And then unfortunately one of the major sort of players in the consortium pulled out, which jeopardised the rest of it. The consortium are brilliant, by the way. The local people, they're not multi-millionaires, the people that love the club and want the best for the club. So I think we're in good hands, but initially they didn't have enough resource to get it over the line on their own. And then I was quite keen anyway to try to do something with the fans, and whether that was a share issue or a fundraising event or whatever it was. And unfortunately, the administrators were appointed about a week later, and they came in, and that was one of the most ruthless experiences I've ever been through in my life. You know, with those guys, you know, their job is just to sell off assets, isn't it, and get what they can. And so that was really difficult. And at the time, we weren't allowed to sort of publicise anything. So we got on the Friday when they actually placed us into administration. We weren't given the green light until the Saturday to start doing all the fundraising. But that Friday, we've got a couple of people in the office. I want to name check Dave Rolt here. So whenever a camera normally is out, or he's the first one to get on it. But that day, funnily enough, he was nowhere to be seen, and I was just the one that was left in the office that ended up having to sit in there with the administrators and face the press.
Your negative points at the moment, the negative Vikings, but can you get there? Anthony Glenn said on the show the night, Widnes will finish 5th, and they'll beat Toronto in the final, in the playoff final, to go back to Super League. Is that the dream?
Oh, that, you know what? That would be a brilliant. It would be brilliant. That would be a dream. Oh, we'd fill it, wouldn't we? Yeah. We'd fill it definitely. That would be an unbelievable dream. I think Anthony's. He's a character, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's a massive character, and it'd be brilliant, and what a story. But I think realistically, I'm not sure that's going to be the case. But you know, we can all dream, can't we?
We're here with the Prince now, Danny Craven. You do a testimonial soon, and so. While you've been at this club, obviously you've seen the highs and obviously now the lows. After the relegation, nobody expected the administration. How did it feel? Obviously, from somebody who's been at the club so long, as such an integral part of the team and the town, how did it feel from your perspective?
Well, obviously it was a shock to everyone. I remember I was sat at home. It was a Thursday night before training, and we was due to get paid the day after. We just got a text saying that we weren't getting paid this month, and obviously we came in the day after. We had meetings and stuff, which was, like I said, obviously a massive shock. And you know, we're lucky that we've got some good people around the town who's basically helped us stay afloat.
How did it feel? Obviously the relegation must have been a shock from your perspective, obviously playing Super League for so many years. How have you found the Championship? Because I personally think it's really tough.
Well, I've played on loan in the Championship at Featherstone and at Halifax, and I've always said that I think the Championship physically is tougher than Super League. I think Super League's just more skillful and faster. You know, and obviously some of the lads here they've not played Championship before, so it's been a bit of a shock to the system, especially with the pitches and stuff. But you know, we've got to get used to it. If we've got aspirations to get back up to Super League, you know, we've got to go to these places and be as professional as we can and grind out wins.
Mate, 10 years and you know this town, you know these people. How well have the fans done, and the people behind the scenes who still aren't being paid have done to pull together to look at, you know, with the Vicky Consortium to take this club on into the future?
It's like I said, it's been unbelievable. Without the people who we've got around the town, and you know, the staff who we've got here, we wouldn't have a club, and you know, there'd be 30 of us out of a job and looking for other clubs or looking for jobs elsewhere. So you know, without the staff here and the people of Widnes, we wouldn't be where we are now, so we're lucky. Out
of the frying pan into the fire. Tough time at Lee, come to Widnes. Were you aware of any problems whatsoever when you took the job?
No, none at all. It was probably one of the major factors in coming over, was the story that was sold to me, the opportunity presented, and the recruitment and the facilities we've got and the infrastructure within the club was, when I met with the officials, it all sounded good and it was all in place, and I really genuinely believed it was a proper chance of getting back into Super League.
On the field, without a doubt, there's a proper chance of getting into Super League. I think still, because I still think it's attainable. I think that fourth spot is attainable because you've got such a good set of lads and such a core of young quality players at the club. But walking in today and looking out on the field and seeing the reality of it, you're here on your own. You've got a couple of lads from your academy helping you, but have you ever faced anything like this before?
No, it's I'm almost a one-man band at the moment at times. It's been tough. I've been really fortunate, like you've just said there. I've got a really good group of players. The senior players have been fantastic. They've given me lots of help off the field, coaching wise, and the young guys' attitudes are superb. And I think that's the one thing for me that's been the real positive coming through all this. And without that, I don't think I'd have got through it. But yeah, it is. From an ideal point of view. Things are not in place like they should be, but we found a way to make it work, and we're still getting results on the field, and we're digging ourselves out of an hole and looking upwards at the moment.
Humans in general are resourceful creatures, and you go into the office and I can't believe the positivity and the energy given that those people aren't being paid. That's such a testament to them as individuals and to what this club means to this town.
Yeah, it does, and I think a lot of that's been probably supplied by the fans and the passion they've shown, and the amount of money they've handed over. Only a couple of weeks ago I was sat in the office and there were school children turning up, handing the pocket money over. There's an old lady, she turned up and handed some money over she'd saved for a washing machine. So it means a lot to the people within this town, and all the staff behind the scenes from day one, whether they've been paid or not been paid, have turned up and done the job to the best of their ability. So it's a credit to everyone at the club.
Where do you go from here now? You're in the negative points, so how do you go about restructuring with literally no finances? And what I'm talking about is there's some greats attached to this club, and people know out there that there's no money in it. But do you try and pull some ex-players down? Do you try and pull some people in to help you? Because there's plenty of people who I'm sure who are desperate for a job in rugby league who might just want to come and help you, and they might just not know there's an opportunity. Would you take help now from people out there, maybe a Bobby Goulding or somebody like that who's out there?
I think you'd be stupid to turn anything away. You've got to explore, no matter what you're in, whether it's rugby league or business, you've got to explore every opportunity that gives you a chance to improve and give you the best opportunities to move up. So I can't rule anything out. But I said it's the club's been behind the scenes. It's been in turmoil, but on the front, everyone's just worked really hard, been composed in what we've been doing, and we're on our way up. And our first goal, I think, as a group, is to get to 0 points. And we said, get to 0 points. We might get to 0, and the team above us might be on 10 points by then. We've no idea. But our first goal is to get to 0 points, and then when we get to 0, we'll see where the teams above us are, and then we'll look to catch them as well.
As a young lad growing up, I was super proud to be from Winmore. Proud from Winmore. LS14 crew. For all you LS14 people out there, you're the king of Ditton. Tell me about Ditton. Firstly, tell me all about Ditton.
Oh, Ditton, it's to be honest, it's not the nicest of areas. It's a bit I like to think I'm street smart, sort of learned growing up and that, and it's not the worst place in the world, but I've had a good upbringing and it's definitely helped me out in rugby, I reckon, bringing from Ditton.
60,000 people in this town. It's not a big town. Why has it produced so many good rugby players, and why is this club being so successful? And really, it shouldn't, by rights, by the size of it, have the success it's had.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like you said, it's only a small town. I just think it's a hard-working town. You get people like this. There's a reason why rugby union's down south and rugby league's up north. Well, like I said, it's just a hard-working town, and people just want to graft for each other. And you're seeing that with what happened in the situation we've been in, and all the people have come out to support us. Everyone just wants to graft for each other, wants to work for each other, and I think that's why it produces so many people. And then when you get into the academy, we've got one of the best academy setups, I believe. Phil Finney's done a lot of work with me growing up and the players around my age, and our setup's very good. They've got a good education set up now, and it's just a good club to be at, mate, and everyone just wants to work for each other.
Gels has been in our show recently and he were absolutely outstanding. Now, this year, he believes you're going to finish in 5th. He's got it in his mind, and you're going to beat Toronto in this £1 million game. But also, there's the 1895 Cup, and that gives an opportunity for every club in Championship to get to Wembley. How special would it be for the fans of this club? They might get there in Challenge Cup, as Gell says. He said there's going to be a problem for the RFL, so we'll be in the Challenge Cup and the 1895 Cup final. And I love his passion and his energy. But even if you got to 1895 Cup final, a day out at Wembley would be such a reward for these fans.
Well, Widnes is known for going for Wembley back in the day, obviously before my time. I've seen the game and that from the World Cup Challenge, and I've seen all them games, so Widnes is known to be at Wembley, and like Gail said, let's get to both. I think they got asked that at the start of the season, and the answer was we'll fill 2 teams. So why not? Let's just go for it. You know, what's the worst that can happen, sort of thing.
Outstanding. Best of luck this year, Jack. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
The King of Ditton.